I'm going to do a deep dive on the ecosystem, talking about the difference between what we have. To begin with, to begin with, uh, in the description of the video, there will be a full overview presentation of the ecosystem. Give and take that the slide may have had some minor changes, but the general content is the same. And as our ecosystem evolve, so is the depth of understanding needs to increase and improve as well. Each person who receives this content will discern the content according to their ability, and I will do my very best to remain on point as possible. I might deviate a little bit and get into the little bit of psychology to understand this type of project. Imagine, for instance, we just came from Miami from our second, my second event in the company. Luckily, I had the privilege of going to Cyprus, visiting the store. I sat down with Archon for like some half an hour. I sat down with the project manager uh, and get their take on from the development aspect of the business. I got a chance to visit the store itself, one of the two store at the time in Cyprus, and saw a transaction. And I was inside the store itself, not a Photoshop. There's a difference between seeing the project from a hands-on versus sitting behind a computer and uh, and googling something and hoping that you think you understand. This type of ecosystem, you need to be very well plugged in on a daily basis as to what's going on. You also need to be tight with the people within the company itself to understand, to have a big picture about the project. And you also need to be tight with the people who you join this opportunity with, because your experience will be in direct proportion to, well, their connectivity. A person who is not connected, or you could say a socially isolated person, a person who participates in this company and who introduces others to the company for the purpose of collecting a commission. And there's a difference between commission earned versus dividend that generate from a business and a physical business. Uh, you're talking about a regulated physical brick and mortar business with multiple revenue points. And when we acquire a license into a country, first of all, we got to be licensed to operate the store, licensed to operate the POS system, licensed and some license, interconnect with others. But in terms of the automatic vending machine, sometimes it's referred to as an ATM, and sometimes it's referred to as an AVM because it's a vending machine that trades assets, the crypto assets, and between the POS system, between the ATM or AVM, however you call them, between a physical store, and within a physical store itself, there can be multiple checkpoints. There is, first of all, the architectural design needs to be approved, the license needs to be approved, and we need to find a location, and you're dealing with contractors for the business, for the physical location. All that plays into potential delay into a physical store opening already operating in Cyprus is different than the store about to open in France, Spain, UK, or Germany. Each country has their own specification, their specific requirement. Each has probably a project manager. In this case, that the idea is that right now we're trying to streamline the opening process of a store in one country, and then basically standardize the opening to roll out the same structure. In other words, creating a checklist for opening a store. Licensing, architectural design, furniture design and delivery, installment of an actual store, and then the hiring of new employees for to a store to operate. And then there's marketing, to bring customers on board. And there's also reaching out to businesses, or in this case, businesses reaching out to us to find out how they can leverage our technology. So you may have a company sign on for like some 2,000 location for the Miracle Deal, the ATM, and Miracle Installment, but all that has to be software programmed, API connectivity with Miracle Cash and their company, testing and rollout, and of course having the devices available, manufactured, designed, tested to roll out to 2,000 location in a particular company, in a particular country. So you got the physical store, you got the deployment of the ATM. That means construction, design, software, test, delivery, installment, all that. And you're dealing with human who has to implement all that. So to say a project like that can have a little bit of a delay is an understatement. Then there lies where education plays a role. Participate in this ecosystem. You got to have a understanding that this is a long term, you're playing the long view. A typical commission junkie who comes from multiple platforms, they used to get, income coming in and signing people in platform ABC that are designed to last for a couple of months. A person like that may coming into an ecosystem, a real business uh, with real uh, with real regulatory structured business. And for the plan and the deployment we're trying to do, it's not going to be like an easy rollout, because we're not talking about just the rollout of a McDonald. You select a McDonald, you select first of all, select the country you want to be in, establish the price for a franchise, sell the franchise to an owner, who then has to go to McDonald University, who then has to spend the time to learn the McDonald system to not deviate from the plan. And then, because McDonald is food, there's talking about all kind of country, region, town, or specific food or OSHA law that has to take into consideration. Now, because this project is regulated and we're dealing with real people, real brick and mortar business that has both online, offline, technology driven in a space that is first to market with huge upside potential, it is normal to experience a few delay. And that when you separate an entrepreneur from a commission junkie, an entrepreneur, a business person who understands what it means to roll out a plan. Okay, I used to be an assistant manager for a store. I opened up a shoe store. Well, I participated in the opening of a shoe store. The location has to be identified, approved by corporate, constructions, and then you're dealing with contractors who might have subcontractors, and you have to deal with the human aspect of the business. You may have a designated target plan for achieving A, and then it may not happen in time. And then you may also have a delay, especially when you're dealing with technology, crypto. Uh, so there might be a delay, but actually do take that into consideration that might happen, which is why when someone participates in something like that, who you participate in this business with make all the difference in the world, because the level of that person's competence determine the educational competence and the connectivity with management, and being part of a big picture. Having lost money in multiple scam-based opportunity, platform-based project that are not designed to last but a few weeks, if not, maybe a couple of months, and then exit with people's money. I do appreciate a real business with real people doing the right thing. And having been in retail, I know the potential for delay. And I also know that I was participating in a first to market opportunity. If you get that right, then you set the standard for the rest of the industry. Okay. So having said that, you do not present a five-star opportunity to a one talent person. Okay. You do not present a quality five-star opportunity to a one talent individual. A person who is uh, who's interested in it now, who does not have the long game, the long term plan in place. Okay. Now you can certainly do both with the proper education in the proper surrounding and with proper education, team support, and connection to management, and having seen the project in person, having met all the officers, and being part of a community of like minded, long term investors, we do understand the difference between a platform versus a regulated business in a crypto space that is doing something for the first time. You only have time to do it right the first time. And then once everything roll out well, might give and take a couple of delays, then it doesn't really matter if you take time to do it well. So my where I deviate a little bit, this is why I talked about. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but this is in the Bible in Matthew 25 and 14 to 27, where it says the manager go into a field and then identify three people. To the one, he gives 5 talent. To another, he gives 2 talent. You can take time to read it yourself because that's part of your education. Because I don't want to preach, I just want to make a statement. Okay. To another, he gives 1 talent. Okay, 5, double it to another 5. In other words, each person is giving an opportunity according to their ability. Okay, you don't take a 5 talent, a 5-star project, you give it to a 5 talent individual. Okay, and you take the same project, and again, each person according to their ability to handle. Okay, and I will make my point according to their ability. To the one, the manager gives 5 or the owner gives 5. Why 5? Why give 5 to one and give 2 to another? Because the one who has 5 has the ability to accept 5. The one who gives 2 also convert the 2 and get 2 more for 4 in total. And to the one who gives 1, the one, okay, squandered the opportunity, makes all kind of excuses, and therefore loses, okay, the opportunity. The one was taken away and give it to the one who has 5. Okay. Now, why is that important, and why am I making a big issue out of this? Each person is giving an opportunity. You can take the same opportunity and give it to 3 different people according to their ability. The person with a 5-star mentality, with the ego versus the lion. Okay, let's just say you have the ego, you get 5-star, 5 talent. You give the lion 2 talent, and you get, let's say, the buffalo, or perhaps the sloth, a 1 talent. The slow-minded, slow to adapt individual according to their ability. And in the end, the one who has five double it, the one who has two double it, and the one who has one look for all the opportunity to make excuses, to find things that is wrong, to find what's going wrong, what's not happening, because the one star, the one talent individual has a one talent ability. This is a five-star opportunity. And so imagine, I'm in Florida, and we're driving from one to an event, and an unfortunate circumstance happened. And then I find myself a couple of hours in the car with my business partner. I learned more about my business partner during that unfortunate circumstance. We ended up missing the event without going to what happened. And in the end, it didn't really matter because we turned a bad experience into an opportunity to connect. In other words, you don't join this opportunity, you don't share this opportunity with just anybody. You select people you participate in this opportunity with. In the end, would you want to be stuck in a car with a flat tire with a person, with a one talent individual who will find all kind of complaining, reasoning, finding wrong, or a five-star, a five-talent individual will turn the opportunity into an opportunity to connect because that was meant to be. Now, this has nothing to do with business, but it has everything to do with business because the same opportunity presented to me, I transform it well, and the same opportunity happens to my business partner, and we did extremely well. And it's not the same. It's not the same thing at all to someone else with a wrong attitude, with a blame shifting attitude, with an excuse mindset. Okay, taking a five-star opportunity, presenting a five-star opportunity to a one talent person, it's a waste of an opportunity, needless to say. Okay, so let's say this was a bit too long, and let's take a look at, we're all business people, right? You know, there's also an application we can learn from the ant. If you've watched, ant or do a search on YouTube, learn and find out about ant colony. Even in the Bible, it says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard, and observe her way, and be wise, which, having no chief, officer, or ruler, prepares her food in the summer, and gathers her provision in the harvest." And the question is, how long will you lie there, O sluggard, one talent person? When will you rise up from your sleep? A little sleep, excuses, you know, a little slumber, a little folding of the arm to rest, waiting for everything to go right, all the light to turn green, for everything to go well, while missing out on an opportunity to take advantage of a first to market, once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay, you take the attitude of the ant and learn from it. Don't wait for things to happen. You got to make things happen. Make things happen. You don't wait. So you see, that's why you have 5%, okay, all right, of the wealth goes to 95% of the people, and 95% of the wealth goes to 5% of the population. There are some people, 95% of the people, who are happy with a job, or happy to go to a job. Someone tell them what to do, and when to do it. Versus you get 95% of the population as well, who are selling their time to a business, okay? and then you could say 95% of the wealth, okay, happen where in the business that is producing leverage, where an entrepreneur is leveraging a system, okay, right? This is the 95% of the population being the system, being part of the system, being the one who was grinding it out day in, day out. And these are the people who are happy with an average life. They don't expect, there's no challenge because the business owner assume all the challenge. Okay. Here, at least 95% of the wealth, goes to a certain proportion of owners who understand leverage. You do a little bit of production, and then you employ the production of many to achieve a common result, and thereby leaving 5% of the population occupying 90% of the wealth. In other words, it's actually pretty lonely here, but it's pretty crowded there. Okay? Here, people have no goals, no visions, no ambitions. Okay? At least some people here, they're willing to sell themselves to an idea, okay? But with no leverage. Here, you are the leverage to a business owner. Okay? Here, the business owner has leverage, can work 10% of the time and employ 10% of many people as possible and achieve that. And there, the business owner does not leverage time at all. The business owner leverage a different type of asset. And this is where we are. Okay? We have leverage asset where we employ a little bit of energy here to a system, and then the system take care of itself. So I'm a bit excited today to bring to you this concept. Within this opportunity, the cash flow NFT, everyone gets the same opportunity. A year from now, not very, not everyone in this ecosystem will have the same experience. Some will have excuses, and some will have dream vacations, dream homes, all right, dream marriages, dream cars, because they're playing a long game. Each one self-driven, not waiting for something to happen, not waiting for all the conditions to go right. Like the ant, they are busy when things go well, whether it's the bad weather, snow, they are preparing, constantly productive in whatever season they find themselves, they apply themselves, not waiting for when all the weather to be well, to be right, to be in the right season in order to apply themselves. So, same opportunity, different results. When the opportunity opens, it was open with, when I find out about it, they will spend NFT selling out at 5,000 at a time. If you take part of a certain promotion, you can take part of it. I managed to participate a little bit, and then there was UK that was selling at 10,000. Okay, now I'm at 5,000 per NFT. We understand again. The full overview of the opportunity will be available in the video, so I'm not going to do this whole presentation. This is about mindset. Although there is an opportunity to share their business with people, but this is also not for everyone. Okay, now we have a unique opportunity. We present the first time ever where the Italy NFT present with 39,000 NFT. Okay, 54,000 micro shares is available. Only 39,000 is available for sale. In other words, the total membership of 54,000 and 39,000 is available to sell. You can acquire a share for people who did not have the ability, people who did not have the monetary ability to participate at 5,000 in the UK, now have no excuse to participate in this ecosystem. Once you see the full presentation, then you'll understand. You have to identify whether or not you're a 5 talent person, a 2 talent person, or a 1 talent individual. Same opportunity, 6 months to a year from now, we have totally different stories. Okay, totally different stories. And to bring home the point, Being a resident five talent myself, uh, giving and understanding the opportunity for what it is, I understand that I don't control timeline. I don't control what happened with the opportunity. Okay, I understand that for the business to make profit, I understand when we say a timeline A, that's not in my control. When they which is a timeline. So the long term with proper education and proper self-driven motivation, I see the potential. This is a concept that's never been done. And if you understand well, I missed out on the Bitcoin when it was as low as 50 cents. I knew about it. I dragged my feet. Oh, it wouldn't work. I was one of those one talent person at the time. This time, I did not want to make such a mistake. Okay. I knew such opportunity does not repeat itself multiple times. And sometimes in a lifetime, you only have certain opportunity that present itself, and the rare opportunity that you get to participate at something at the beginning, and I had the second choice at it. So understanding the long-term nature of this wonderful opportunity, I apply myself as a five talent per- person, understanding that I was dealing with a five-star opportunity. Now, there are people I share this with who did greater than I did in terms of, wow, this is phenomenal. And since then, great things have happened. Okay? No one waited for all the conditions to go well. Okay? Like the ant, productive, coordinated, and disciplined, and knowing that you do not control the weather, you do not control the conditions, you do not control the circumstances. You control your behavior and you control your action. And keeping that in mind, then there was no time to waste, because this is a one time, once in a lifetime opportunity to participate in something big, regardless of the challenges that we faced. A determined five-star, five talent person take the opportunity with the circumstances given and charge forward with action. The result is phenomenal. Okay, you don't get to sell to NFT to an individual without proper education and proper instructions. Someone decided five, five NFTs, two, all right, one. Okay, someone decided to. Once as you learn more about this wonderful concept, and you begin to realize, wow, this is a truly good long term. Everyone participate according to their ability. There's a difference between commission and a difference between, the NFT asset back payout. The payout depends on the delivery of a store, the construction being done, licenses acquired, constructions being done, uh, 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 you know, design accepted, and each country might present its own sets of challenges. But to a determined end, self-driven, not excuse-minded, or challenge-minded, understanding the same challenge happens to a lot of people. What determines the outcomes is the attitude of the person who's giving the opportunity, and each person perceived, received, and appreciated an opportunity according to their ability. Therefore, ability determines someone's results, and the results speaks for themselves when it comes to delivery, proper education, proper teamwork, proper connection, and proper time to do a deep dive to understand the nature of the opportunity. Okay, it's not easy to say, oh, by the way, take a look at this and let me know what you think. Or you can Google it. No, I went to Cyprus. I sat down with the people. I know because I can see eye to eye with them, and I had dinner with the two of them on my last day or the day before my last day. All that happened during a beautiful, same opportunity, same experiences, a different outcome. Why? Each person is giving the challenge according to their ability. We don't change their circumstances, we don't change the challenges, and we don't change the outcomes. And ability determines one's results. Mindset determines one's results. Okay, so you can take a look at two videos. One person has one version, another person has one version. There is commission for sales, for the selling of membership, and now back then we had to wait, for that commissions to be paid. Right now, someone buys, three or six NFT or however many. Once the payment clears in crypto, that commission will be instant commission right now. Okay, now giving that someone who signed up 6 months ago, the NFT, the depending on the membership, we knew there was a timeline for things to come into fruition. Okay, the timeline was not fixed and therefore not determined, and according to circumstances unknown or unperceived by the company or to the company, timeline are not fixed. They are dynamic in nature because we're dealing with people, but that's not in our control. What's in our control is the proper education, self-education like the ant, and proper coaching to the people we are introducing to this opportunity. And once properly educated, properly informed, and well connected to the source, to the company, and understanding the calls, the community, and participating in an event where you get to meet the people, you understand why there might be delays, then it doesn't really matter how long things take, because no good things happens fast overnight, especially we're dealing with a regulated space. Okay. Now I'm excited today because uh, the results speaks for themselves. Okay. Okay. So these are commissions earned for sales of the NFT. What determines someone acquire, you know, membership in the country in Germany at 150,000, which generate a commission for that. Okay. Now, how about you are the one explaining or teaching or coaching this opportunity to somebody you're talking to? Now, if you're a one talent person, you like, oh man, I've been part of this opportunity. They said they were going to do X in Y time. Right now it's X, it's P or M or Z time. Things haven't happened. What do you communicate? Anxiety, neediness, and therefore same opportunity, different individual. So you could possibly be talking to someone who's just looking for something of substance. And then because you're a one talent person, you express the opportunity in a one talent format and therefore squandered the opportunity to communicate substance to a potential person who might see value in what you have to offer. Okay. So I'm hoping that I could actually uh, see, let's say for instance, something happens here and I refresh. It would be nice to have a live example of commission being uh, uh, cleared. Now, again, each person is giving the opportunity according to their ability. Okay. Now, let me take a break. Okay. Now, within this ecosystem, okay, there are multiple websites. Each site has a different focus. The Finnic token, that's something we did not anticipate in the beginning, that we would have a gas token to validate, to be considered to be part of the ecosystem. Now we have it because we required, uh, 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 great talent who came in with their own skill sets, their own, project in mind, and we have a great partnership. Okay, so we have the finictoken.com, and you can learn more about that. The Boogie Gopher Club is a club where you get to track all your assets. You know, in 2017, Hakon was the first. Well, he created Miracle Cash and more, and along the time with he was the one who brought in 65,000 ATM to Turkey. Surround himself with top lawyers, technology teams, business development, and marketing experts to make what Miracle Cash is what it is today. Okay. Now, this is not a startup. This is something that is based on regulation, licenses, and key business practices that will ensure long term growth. And you don't get to have long term growth operating in a regulatory setting for things to come easy. And that's the part most people do not understand. In 2017, when the company started, it started with regulation in mind. Crypto industry changes over time. Okay, the core system started from 2017 to 2023. Okay, the resale store started to come into life in different places, ATM and exchanges. And 2023, 24 is when we now focus on the on the NFT marketplace. There were a lot of things that did not we did not anticipate. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time and take decision that affects the business, which may have caused delay that turned out to be beneficial to us as an ecosystem. Certain times, certain things cannot be expected, cannot be prevented, and therefore things happen sometimes that might cause a bit delay. But delay to a one talent person is a big problem, but to a five talent person, delay is a time to appreciate that no good things, no things of substance comes easy and without challenges. Okay, especially delay. You're dealing with regulation, we're dealing with construction, we're dealing with licenses, and we're dealing with multiple countries and multiple integration and things that we did not expect to happen. Okay, there's the construction and there's the building design, the software and mechanical of the ATM. The reward system from software to architecture needs to be designed. The fintech services identify in a fast evolving market. The blockchain services, same thing. Regulatory services, nothing regulatory services happen overnight. Things take time. When you onboard a business, there has to be a certain amount of compliance for a business, KYB, KYC, point of sale services, software, technical design, testing, and tweaking and upgrading, web services in the ever changing market. One day crypto is hot, the next day crypto is sour, in an ever evolving ecosystem. Things does not come easy. Then again, nothing comes easy is ever worth it, and everything that comes easy always end up in disappointment. To have retail stores in major cities is not an easy undertaking. If it was easy, then it would have been done already. But this is the first time it's happening. Don't expect it to go through any breeze to meet all the deadline. It's just not going to happen. And that's the cost of being in the business first to market opportunity. POS system, from design to acceptance to rollout, all that takes time. Okay, ATM, same thing, different license. A license that applies to an ATM may not apply to a store. And if you want to have both, you got to have license for each one, or a master license that goes for both or all three. You know, exchanges now that MiCA, market in crypto asset, has been approved by the European Union. Now, most exchanges, okay, operate in the UK, such as Binance, you know, left Cyprus, left UK, and other places because they were not compliant. Okay, they're operating under the table, and as a result, if you're not operating in a fast and evolving ecosystem where the law is applied, you're going to have problem. When the law changes and you do not have all your things in order, you're going to have problem. Okay. To have stores in Germany, Turkey, Spain, Netherlands, UK, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Cyprus, every country has its own law, regulation, licenses. All that has to take into consideration. Some may want the ATM, POS system, and some cases you may not have the exchange license, and the store license has to be completely separate. You cannot have it in the same store. So you could have, some places, you have two stores next to each other. One is an exchange, the other one is a store because they have different licenses, and that require two different rent to two different owners, and leasing agreement and all that. Those things takes time, but it's all worth it to the right person. To the right person, a five talent individual understand this is a real business, real concept, and they already have the most important part, the regulatory acceptance everywhere in mind, and because of that, it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait once you understand. Okay, so and this is the part to me that's good. Okay, again, still the information presented does not constitute financial advice. It's not to determine, all that, even though it has nothing to do. It's just a comparison. Okay, buy and sell, trade, spots, future, website, mobile app, and coin. Many of them have the same. Okay, only two have their own stable coin: Binance and Miracle Cash. And then the live presence brick and mortar store, we have that. They don't. Buying, buy and sell in person, nobody else have that. Do you think it's easy? If it was easy, it would have been done before. Customer service in person, you mean train people in person to be there? And you're in some cases, you have no competition in a particular region because you're the only one doing it. You have to find the right individual with the right attitude to be in situation like that where you are first. Okay, point of sales, virtual or physical, crypto services, real estate leasing, and not to mention having insurance and wallet protection. We have all that. When you consider all that, okay, this is an achievement in itself. Okay, and now to participate in this opportunity, okay, that's where cash flow NFT come into the to the table, right? Miracle Cash could not be doing all that technologically and be involving in customer acquisition, in sell, in business partnership. That's where Cashflow NFT comes in. Okay, Miracle Cash provides the assets, that gives us the tokenization taken into consideration by Cashflow NFT to be part of a revenue producing business, business ownership that becomes a bankable loan or asset. Okay, and the asset becomes transferable within the ecosystem itself. Okay, that takes time. Okay, we have now the Boogie Gopher Club, an NFT marketplace. Okay, for asset tokenization with a club where you can track all your assets in one place. Okay, the NFT is the profit earned 100%. Profit goes to the master franchise, and 100% goes to the NFT. The NFT owned 75% of it sold through Cashflow NFT. 75% of it, of the 100% NFT owned asset, sold through the NFT. The 25% is held by Miracle Cash and more. And the profit can comes from crypto ATM, retail stores, point of sales, web services, and more. And the digital collectible give you 75% ownership because 75% of it goes through cash flow NFT. Okay. The business has been valuated, and I'm gonna take too much time on that because that's not the point. Okay. The valuation, we can see that through the presentation itself. Okay. Now the one thing to consider, because this has been long enough. Okay. Now there are a lot of NFTs out there. A real question to ask is: the NFT backed by an asset that generates revenue? Ours does, but others do not. Okay. Growth industry, is the NFT tied to an asset? Okay, that count for the growth in the next couple of years? Okay, does the NFT in terms of like has a valuation of an independent firm that has accepted the estimate? And is the NFT regulated? In other words, is it gonna face problem later on? Ours do not, because we're structured with regulation in mind. Okay. Now you can participate in multiple ways. The company is obviously, this is the current structure right now, but in a few days it'll be three generation: 10%, 4% second generation, and 3% on the third. Okay. Miracle Cash is not a startup. With decades in the making, heavily invested in with legal and regulatory license. Okay. First of its kind in asset back, and you can acquire an NFT and not have to sell. It is a great opportunity to share. And as I've shown you, I have shared. And now we have the Finnic token, which is proof of transaction. And because we own our own switch, the Finnic token is going to be the gas token that every sale that comes from a retail store, point of sales, crypto ATM, web services go through the switch, and therefore the Finnic is there to validate the transaction, or for through the node system as a gas token. Okay, node validation. Okay, and node system point generating, or everything generating through Finnic as a gas token, whether the sales is coming in or out, whether it's someone coming in to buy crypto or selling crypto to fiat or crypto to crypto. Okay, Finnic is a gas through our own node system. Okay, and there are multiple ways. Okay, and a transaction can occur: fintech, node rewards, crypto ATMs, web services. None of that is easy. Okay, and any of that can cause delay in the process. But for the right person with the right attitude, we understand this is long term, this is a long game. Okay, every person participate according to their ability, and I can talk more about that in another session. Okay, so every person participate according to their ability, and your ability determine how you understand this ecosystem. Again, it's a matter of what caliber of a person who receive this information. If you're a five talent individual, you'll get that. Okay, I understand. This is long term. This is not a platform. This is a real business. I don't have a problem playing the long game. Not for the commission junkie. Okay, for a business to generate revenue, all the things has to happen. Stores needs to open. The partnership the deployment of ATM, the deployment of the POS system, either the virtual or physical, all that has to happen in time. This is a long game. With a proper education, we can educate the right person. You've been losing money in multiple platforms that are stealing people's money. It's about time you participate in something of substance and understand that this is not for everyone. And we do have a star program that I do a good video about. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to refer the video underneath this one to give you proper context. Yeah. You don't bring just any junkie into this space because they may not have the psychological makeup to understand a long term project. And each person participate according to their ability. Same opportunity is given to a whole lot of people, but not everyone has the self-concept of freedom. So some people like microwave food, some people like a nice, beautiful oven, slow cooked, well nourished meal. And this is what that is. If you want microwave, you can just go to get a platform that pays you X and that only lasts to a few months, and then you're done. Typical one talent person is a microwave person who wants things yesterday but do not understand the importance of substance. Nothing of substance is ever quick. So, question is, what kind of results would you rather have? If everyone participate according to their ability, and I've used most of my commission, 100% of it goes to acquire more assets because I understand this is a long game, and part of it is understanding what you understand the game. So Miracle Cash and More is a technology company that provides a service. Cashflow NFT is a company through whom that basically tokenizes the assets of Miracle Technology. And when someone comes in to acquire an asset, they understand this is a real company, a real business operating in a regulatory network, and there are a lot of factors that affect when things